solve those crimes.
There's another thing in there as well, because I'm thinking about like not just the young people, but I'm thinking about people in general. There's also that level of boredom as well, you know, with lack of motivation, and people aren't being motivated in order for them to do something for themselves. Because I know that just walking down the road, we were walking around Stockwell the other day. We were doing a nature walk, and we were walking around Stockwell, and there were a lot of brothers who were just hanging outside a pub at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And they were just standing around drinking beer. And I was saying to the children that when we went to Chicago, that's exactly how it was in the morning. They were just hanging out. They just hang out all day because they don't have anything to do, because no one's investing in them, investing time or energy or even a little inspiration into them in order for them to want to do something for their community and nation either.
So the lack of knowledge of self is a serious crime.
Sure.
It's a serious crime, but it's not seen as a crime.
Yeah.
And if we don't notice or recognize these things as crimes, how can we solve the case? If there is a block of knowledge, a block on knowledge coming in, a block on truth getting to us, that's a serious crime.
Yeah.
But if we don't recognize it as a crime, how can we investigate the crime? You know, when you look at the show, Crime Scene Investigation, the detectives are given their case by somebody.
Yeah, so
they don't just get up one day and say, right, I'm going to solve this case. Somebody actually gives them a case and says, right, solve this case. They are given the crimes. Now, if somebody doesn't give us that as a crime, the fact that truth is being blocked out, the fact that society is being dumbed down, the fact that our education system is a sham. If somebody doesn't give the detectives, the forensic scientists in our community, the case to solve, how do we solve it? If we don't even recognize it's a crime.
But doesn't that go back to the connection with God as well? Because someone can give you something that isn't necessarily a crime and tell you it's a crime.
Come on. And that in itself is a crime.
That's right.
Crime.
That's misleading, yeah.
Scene. Investigation. Can we see who is giving us these cases? Are we like the pig who just puts our head down in the ground and eats what is presented before us? And if that is the case, if that is how we are operating as human beings, brothers and sisters, then that's a crime. That's a sin. Sin is a crime. I had a breakdown for crime and I can't find it. I've been searching my papers. I don't know what it is. Gone. But I had a breakdown for crime. But sin is a crime.
Yeah, yes it is.
Lack of knowledge of self is a crime. We were saying, in fact I was saying during Ramadan, I found it very difficult to focus on Allah. You know, when you are, not eating, when you have not got food, it may not be that you're hungry, but it may be that you get tired. It may be that you feel uncomfortable, you feel drowsy, you can't focus. It's very difficult to focus on Allah, God, in that state. You know, what can carry you through during Ramadan is knowing that it only lasts a month.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, then you can go back to,
your pretty little life.
Your pretty little life and having your little cakes and whatever it is during the day that gets you through, drinking your coffee. But if you are poor, which Ramadan is supposed to help us to, empathize with those who are poor, who live that life 365 days a year.
Which is probably the majority of the people on the earth. Yeah.
There's vast majority that live on less than $1 a day.
Yeah.
Then, how do you focus on Allah, God, when you are constantly in that situation?
Yeah.
You know, there's a song that says to be poor is a crime. And now I understand it. To be poor, to be in that situation, to be constantly in that situation where you cannot focus on Allah, God, primarily in your heart and in your mind, it's a crime.
Yeah.
It's a soul destroying. It helps you or enables you to think about doing things that maybe we shouldn't be doing just to get by, sister.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think it's a crime not only for the person who's going through it, but it's also a crime for the people who are rich or who have money who aren't helping them through it as well. Because Minister Farrakhan was saying on the Day of Atonement lecture, he was speaking about all of our hip hop artists or our singers and people who are in prominent positions within society. all of those crabs who've been taken out of the bucket. That's how he described them. And he said that, you know, it's not to say that they're not doing anything. You know, Oprah Winfrey or Puff Daddy and all of those people like that. He's saying that they're nice people, they're doing some good. However, there's always more that we can do. And surely, you know, if I have no money and you have plenty of money, then surely the crime is in you not giving me some of that money. Isn't that where the crime lies?
Come on, sister. Come on, sister. All praises due to Allah. And, you know, I just found my definitions for crime.
Yeah, but isn't that where the crime lies? The
Yes,
crime
ma'am.
lies in and the sin lies with you who are withholding stuff when you know that you can free me from that. You know, and you know where I'm coming from because you've been there yourself, and you're not going to help me to come through that, or you're not going to help me to come out of the condition that I'm in.
But I think that goes back to the fear of poverty. You know, the rich man. For the rich man, that is the biggest fear, that he will return to that situation that he's been pulled out of, that he's been allowed to come out of by Allah's grace and mercy, and not remembering Allah. Because remember, charity is one of the principles of Islam.
Yeah.
It's one of the pillars of Islam. So in that situation, we are supposed to rise together. We can't rise. This society rises by standing on people, but in Allah's definition of a community and a nation rising, we all rise together.
Yeah, but isn't that the way? Because what we're doing is we're being actually conned. We're being given a false sense of security to say, well, okay, well, if you share too much of your money, then you're going to lose it. But really, if I share what I have with other people, then I will keep it. I'll keep it because when I'm down, because I'm going to be down at some point. When I'm down, one of those people should help me.
That's how they think, no way.
Yeah, but then what ends up happening is that we then withhold ourselves from one another, and then what ends up happening is that next time someone else is up, then they're going to say, well, look, I'm not going to help her because she didn't help me when I was down.
Selfishness. That's a crime.
Yeah.
Crime scene investigation. CSI, brothers and sisters. We need to do some CSI in our lives, in our families and community. We need to understand and analyze crime. I've got it down here. Crime. Thesaurus.com. Went on the internet for this one. I couldn't find the dictionary. Crime. Yeah. Offense. Abomination. Antisocial behavior. Atrocity. Breach. Break. Caper. Case. Corruption. We spoke about corruption in the land and sea. Criminality. Delict. Delictum, delinquency. Yeah, you know, we've seen them binge drinking now, and that is being encouraged, and the cheap alcohol pops that is being sold by the society, encouraging 24-hour drinking, delinquency. It's a crime.
Yeah.
Did we know it was a crime? Yeah.
And it's encouraging crime.
Depravity. Yeah, we're seeing these big 20-foot billboards on the street with our sisters in distress, de-dress, undress, states of undress. You know, that is encouraging depravity. Men leering at them with their alcohol pops as they just come out of 24 hours drinking session, you know, looking at the female as something to, you know, to let off on. You know, that tension to release on the sisters, the females being treated as a toilet.
Yeah, that's right.
Depravity, brothers and sisters.